What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, today's video is going to be a little bit of a sad one if you are a Xdefiant fan, or obviously, you're looking forward to Xdefiant. It's not completely awful. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of positives that I can, get out of this, but for the overall mass majority, I think people are going to be a little disappointed with this news, but at the end of the day, we still have to go ahead and cover it. But ladies and gentlemen, before we go ahead and do so, if you do enjoy today's video, want to hear some more commentaries like this one, or even stuff about Call of Duty, we post here daily at 8 in the morning Eastern Time. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. And last but not least, we've been grinding out a ton of GTA over on the live stream, having honestly a lot of fun. So if you're on PC, you want to squad up with us, or even if you just, want to catch some GTA vibes and see what's going on, you can find us streaming over on Kick. I got a link to that channel along with all my other socials down in the description of this video. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, over on Twitter, obviously you guys know the GOAT, Mark Rubin, came out with a little bit more information on where they're at when it comes to the launch of Xdefiant. Stay, tuned with me. It's a lot of information to cover, but again, at the end of the day, it's very important information. You can see right here saying, "Hello, Xdefiant fans. Another update for you. I've got a couple of things to discuss, so be sure to read everything. So let's get started. As I mentioned in my previous post, we are currently in our final submission phase, and because we did the first submission, we are in a much better position to do well on our final submission. We still need to wait and see, of course, but the process is really well documented and controlled, both at Ubisoft and the first parties. Microsoft and Sony really have this down to a science, which makes our jobs as devs much easier. As I mentioned in my last post, the submission phase is really about compliance and functionality of platform-specific services and interactions. And while that has been a big focus for us, we're also still looking at the game for any issues that we would not want to ship with. Again, that is being done by our internal QA/QC teams. The final report from the first parties is due soon, but we still want to fix some bugs issues that have been found that we think are important enough to fix before launch. We are currently evaluating the work, running some more large-scale tests, and we'll have an update for you once we know more. So for one, I'm personally very sorry that we didn't hit the window that we had wanted. We are working to make the best game we can for our fans. Normally, we wouldn't be sharing all of this behind-the-scenes stuff, but I think it's in the spirit of what we've done in the past, and I also hope there are people out there that are interested in game development and enjoy seeing behind the curtain. I admit we were aggressive on our expectations of when we could ship, but that's just because we are really excited about getting Xdefiant to our fans. But, ladies and gentlemen, as you could basically see, yes, Xdefiant is getting delayed. It's been in the air for a very long time now if it's going to be able to get shipped. They mentioned a few things here and there, but we never really had an official, confirmation that it is getting delayed. We're not going to hit the date, but yes, today is the day that we know they are not hitting their exact date. Now, we have no clue when this game is going to launch. It could launch within the next week. It could launch next month. It could launch 5 months from now. We have no clue when the date's actually, going to be, but we finally have confirmation that the game is going to be pushed back. But Mark Rubin also went a little bit further on Twitter with another post, and it's a pretty beefy one, but not as long as the post that I just read, saying, "Just a quick follow-up to my last post on a personal level. Do I wish we had launched the game that we've been working so hard on back in July, August? Yes, of course. But games take time to finish, and we weren't ready no matter how much we wished we could have been. And we basically promised the community we would be open and transparent and work with our players to build this game together. But that means seeing behind the curtain, which isn't as pretty a picture always as it gets painted. But what you are seeing is pretty normal. I'm super proud of our team and what they've done, and can't wait to get our game where it belongs, in the hands of our players. I think we have a lot of cool content planned for many years to come. Our launch is not the only important moment, it's just the start of this journey. Thank you all for all the support and love that you've given us, and can't wait to continue this journey with you all." But I really believe that reading this post is important because it shows behind the scenes on how Mark Rubin feels as a person, not just a developer, but as a human being behind the scenes. It's one of the main reasons why I've been following Xdefiant so much, The gameplay is fantastic, don't get me wrong, I really enjoy the game. But one of the biggest reasons why I support this game to the way, the degree that I do, is just the feedback that they have to offer. It feels like you're talking to a human being. And that's not something that you get on a day-to-day occurrence, if not ever. Even with some indie-developed teams, you don't even get this type of communication nor feedback. Mark Rubin has stepped us through the development of this title for as long as I can remember, and that is something that a lot of fans don't get to witness. Now, if you're into game development, game design, then, you probably already know the processes they go through and what they have to do, what has to be done before a title can be launched. But for a lot of us, including myself personally, I don't know the deep details. So to have, a pro, someone who's very experienced in the scene, actually be open with their audience, knowing that the mass majority of people don't know anything about this, understanding that people are getting angry even though they don't understand, and then willingly explaining the facts without having to either get pissy or roasting anybody or calling people stupid for not understanding. No, just very simply accepts that people are going to be salty and then comes back with factual information on what's going on, why it's going on, so on and so forth. Again, if it was up to him, it would have been launched ages ago, but it's a process that has to be pushed through, and if that's the case, then so be it. I'm not here to rush them. I'm not here to get salty about it being postponed. And if Call of Duty drops a beta or if the actual Call of Duty game drops in general, it doesn't matter to me personally. Yes, I'll probably prioritize the beta over, Xdefiant if it releases around about the same time. Clearly, I'm still going to make Xdefiant content, but this channel revolves heavily around COD, whether it's good or bad. I'm here to cover it and inform you guys on what's going on. So yes, I'm going to probably play that, but the thing is that Xdefiant will be here forever when it launches. It's not another beta coming out. It's not a limited time, that I have to play Xdefiant. No, when the game drops, it drops. So even though, yes, I will probably test out the beta and see what's going on with MW3 and, like I said, notify you guys on everything that's happening, the changes, test things out, test out the movement, test out the time to kill, test out all of the above, Xdefiant will still be there. And it's going to have a classic prestige system, camo grinding, tons of weapons and attachments to grind through and actually enjoy, tons of fun gameplay, no skill-based matchmaking. This game will be here for us. So honestly, patience is simply key. Allow these devs to put together a project that is actually good for once, not rushed, not completely released while it's uncooked. We need something that is, cooked, something that's been actually developed completely with love, passion, and a soul. And that is what Xdefiant is. But I really do hope that people do not give Mark Rubin crap for obviously this game having to be postponed. I completely understand if you're disappointed, because I am disappointed myself personally. I want to play the game. I do. I'm excited for Xdefiant. But there's no reason to give this man any crap, any BS. The game has been constantly being perfected. All community feedback has been taken and is being involved within the game. Just the whole process itself has been fantastic. And again, the communication is key. I've never seen communication like this. So if people give him crap, I really hope that the community doesn't push him to the point where, yeah, he does go Call of Duty mode and just stays silent. I don't think he will, because Mark Rubin seems to have extraordinarily thick skin and is able to navigate the internet and understands how all of this stuff works, especially with, people online. But you never know. You never know. If it's constant, if it's never ending, if the community never understands, we're going to have a problem. And I hope that's not what the Xdefiant community is built off of. Because even right now, when people are negative and they don't enjoy Xdefiant, they still give it the respect that it deserves, and they still acknowledge that, the communication between the developers and the game and the community is fantastic, and, so on and so forth. It's respected, all across the board, whether people like it or hate it. So I'm hoping with that current mindset, that can push close to the launch, and we can maintain that mindset and keep that neutral perspective, that respect, for Xdefiant and how the developers are trying to at least put out something good for us during these current days of live service. And if we can maintain that perspective, hopefully the developers will maintain their communication as well, because it's very, popular for developers to have tons of communication before the game drops, but a lot of them usually lay off once it does come out. I don't think Mark Rubin's going to do that, but again, if the hate is nonstop, he might pull away at some point. But if we can maintain our, mindset, he will probably maintain his communication. And if we can have that communication throughout the whole life cycle of Xdefiant, seriously, it could really turn into being one of the best games that are out. Obviously not right away or at launch or a few months after, even though it is pretty dang good. But I'm talking about, even years down the road, it could be perfected into something outstanding. You never know the possibilities. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for you guys today. Go down in the comment section and leave your opinions down below about how you feel about Xdefiant being delayed. Are you extremely pissed? Are you okay with it? Are you happy that it's delayed? Then, it gets a little extra time to be put together and perfected. And also, if you're a Call of Duty player, Are you going to go ahead and prioritize Call of Duty over Xdefiant, especially with it coming out afterwards? Would you need Xdefiant to launch early for you to have an interest in this game? Or can it, launch way after COD or right with COD or a little bit before COD and still be able to maintain that same type of passion for this title? Because I know there's a lot of people out there who, haven't given it a shot. And if it releases around COD, they might not ever give it a shot. It might be zero chance that they give it a go compared to if they have months of time to digest the game, get into it, and really get a flow for it. Then maybe when Call of Duty comes out, they'll probably obviously play COD, but they're more than likely to bounce back. I'm a little worried about that, but let me know down in the comment section on how you guys feel about it. But as always, leave a like if you enjoyed, leave a dislike if you hated it. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell. We post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern Time. Anything between Call of Duty or Xdefiant, commentaries, live gameplays, comparisons. You guys know the deal. And last but not least, we do stream pretty much every day besides Sundays over on Kick. Like I said, I've been grinding out a ton of GTA recently. It's been a blast. So if you guys want to see that, tune in. Get some awesome, crazy vibes. We're always turning up over on there. The link to that channel, along with all my other socials, are down in the description of this video. As always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.